Okay. No, Jamie, I think what you were saying really has been in my soul lately, that it's amazing when, I mean, I was just thinking while you were talking, I'm like, this is a really intimate gathering, but where two or more are, it's, there's power in just us four coming together right here, and taking our minds and thinking, what can we do together? What kind of vision can we have? What kind of collective decisions or inspirations can we have? So I second, all your feelings there, and we hear you and we're here, and I think that's what's so cool is we're all showing up in different parts of the world. I'm in the Midwest, you're in New Orleans right now, you're in Washington, and are you in, is this the Jose I was talking to on Facebook? Yeah, yes. Oh, sorry. Yes, the chat. I think he's located in where, Puerto Rico? Puerto Rico. Okay, yeah. So we have this so diverse climates and all of this stuff. It's so cool to be here, and I'm honored to be here, and to have met these people. Sorry, pardon me for that. And to have met, the foundation, the people within the foundation, and Gabriel, and these books. Permaculture is it's kind of a Westernish idea, the what we're going through, but this kin domain movement is really of the same mindset with a few key differences. And I think one of the important differences is, we're actively communing with divine creation, and we're actively participating in that, informing true community. It's not like, let's get a cult together and live and, just have happy dances all the time. It's like, let's be intentional about what we're doing here. And sounds like you guys are all for that. So I think we're all working on different plots of land. Asia talks about we can all start trees and pots on our windowsills, for your land, in the future. But yeah, as you can know, one of like bounce talk about anything. So I'm really leaving this up to you guys to kind of govern. And welcome, Sanija.
Hello, thank
Hi.
you.
Thank you for joining. Awesome. So Jose has a question. He says, I have a tiny little piece of emotional connection.
The actual energetic connection not long ago that the group would be feedback on
right.
Yeah.
Try this first before they're like, because a lot of people, when they go to a kinstone, Sarah, if you want to reiterate, because I think it's something worth talking about. I think a lot of people have this.
People have, and our case in Tennessee, we're going to have right now how proper community, because I think it's really, really important to organization have to participate skills, obviously. But
love it. I don't have a lot. Can promise that all these AP
system taxes, you still
will be how it will come about here. And I forgot. I think it's book how there's this process of people land, and
yeah,
I totally inheritance cost. I would love.
But I think we should put that and push back. We're just waiting for those governments that everybody bought them.
Our group, because I think it.
Oh yeah, we won. Oh yeah, look, our signature did something.
Right.
We changed the world, right? I honestly feel like if I don't do it myself, nobody will do it for me. And that's what I feel that we should, as people, do it. We have to stand up for ourselves. Nobody will. And I think we see that in today's world, what's happening, right?
Do you suggest people going more locally? So you're meaning like each one of us go to our local representatives and get surrounding people and say like, hey, this is what we want. Are you on board? Are you, and get all these signatures and then go locally in person and be like, here, is that what you're?
Okay, so that I'm not familiar with that. So I don't know how to go, because I think it'll have to be locally, because, I don't know the details. That's my thing. Like I would like to talk to, God, what's his name? Miguel? No.
Miguel,
forgive me. Yeah. I would need to talk to him more about that, right? Because, and I think that he did suggest like go locally, because like you have to find a group of people, right? And like I'm assuming that's how it's like That's how it worked in Russia as well. Like if I have a group of people who want to live on certain piece of land, and then that group of people writes the letter, signs it, submits it to the government and says, hey, we want to live here, give us the land. And they basically do that. So I think that's what, like, it makes sense to me, unless we all know as international people all over the world, like us now, that we know where we want to live. And then we say, hey, we want this piece of land, and we get it, and we all kind of move into the piece of land. You know what I mean? But I think, I'm not sure how the details work. So I think Gabriel might know more about it. But I think it is more local.
Yeah, there's a post on the on our Facebook page, and I know some people don't Facebook. And if I had 5 minutes, I don't want to take up the time. I have the book sitting here. I could look. I think it's in book 5, and they talk about there's a process, and Vladimir says, you know, like find a group of people, just like you said, find a group of people, organize, set your intentions and goals, then reach out locally to the government. And, you know, say, hey, this is our request, you know, and you have like power in numbers, especially in small locals. I know in my municipality, there's less than 1,000 people. And so, you know, to approach the mayor is no big deal. You know, I'm friends with the mayor, you know. So.
Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed. Like I had to say, you know, Gabriel, he's just suggested for us to start meeting face to face, start meeting as a group of people and get to know each other, you know, like locally. And so we do have a group of Cedars of Canada, I believe, or even I think it's Canada. And I put there like a request, you know, like I'm in Victoria. I said I would like to meet people, like, you know, hey, let's meet up together and get to know each other and whatever. You know, I can do it this weekend, and I can come to like an hour and a half north of Victoria, like to meet other people from the island, right? Because everybody could come from different places. So we don't have to come into my city. Like I'm willing to travel and make accommodations for other people as well, right? So we all kind of meet in a neutral place. And it was like this place was like a central to the island. So everybody could be halfway kind of thing, right? Nobody, one person, one lady, and she usually does the meditations, and she said, I can't make it. I'm sorry, I'm going away. I said, no problem, that's fine. And nobody else responded. Not one person, not even like, hey, you know what, I can't make it. That's a great idea. No enthusiasm, no nothing. You know, so I just feel that people are just so like, oh yeah, you know, this is so fun. You know, I'm going to play a hippie. I'm going to be this and that, but there's no action. You know, everybody likes to dream, but where's the action here? Do you really want to live that life, or do you want to just talk about it and read a book?
I like your spirit. I like your spirit. I'm very of the same stride, and sometimes I have to slow it down a little because it's, you know, you can only do so much in the day, and in the end, you have to be able to sleep peacefully. But I think we should all have the pedal to the metal, so to speak, in modern terms.
Yeah. So maybe we should do that. Like I don't know how that will work, even on a local level. I'm willing to try it even globally. You know, why not?
I'm willing, guys. I'm in an hour outside of St. Louis. I'll drive 3 hours. You know, so Tennessee, it's about 10-hour drive. I mean, that's the thing right now is we're so spread out. You know, we're like in this group alone, I think we're like, I mean, we're all at least a couple hundred miles from each other. So it's just like, I think some people are a little cautious with the virus. I personally, I'm not at all, nor do we need to go into that topic at all. But I think everyone's getting comfortable sitting in their pajamas behind their screen, you know? And it's becoming like, well, let's just like think about, like you said, let's think. It's cool to think, and like I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this. And while that's valuable for like creating that change, that fundamental change, then there comes a point when there's action. And I really agree with you, Sandeja. Like let's do it. I don't know if we can. I think if you know, anybody in this call who wanted to like get together and really think about how can we set this petition in forward, or is there some sort of a model that we can create, you know, that is applicable to anyone in any territory? Maybe it's already there, you know. I don't know. Those are just my thoughts on the matter.
Yeah, I think we should talk deeper with Gabriel. Maybe he should come over to this, discussion one time, or maybe on one of his webinars. I'm not sure, but like that's when I'm at, and I missed a couple of last webinars with him, and I heard that this last one. I mean, it's always optimistic and stuff, but that was my point. I think I pointed that to him as well. That
I remember that. I was on that call. I remember it. Remember, yeah. I don't know though. It's like I'm remembering a conversation that grandfather and Vladimir have, and Vladimir's talking like, it's only, I'm trying so hard to get all this going, and look, it's barely even starting, and blah blah blah. And grandfather says, yeah, but look at how long that nothing changed, and in this short amount of time, this little things that you're calling nothing, they needed all this energy, and it broke through, and it's starting. He's like, you just be patient. So it's like, at some point, I don't know, because it's like I am really just like you. I'm like, let's go. I'm gonna knock on my mayor's door tonight. I'm gonna figure out like, let's do this. And then a part of me is like, there's the right time in the right place when people's readiness to receive it is there. Like we can't keep hammering whatever the phrase would be, like it into the ground when it's not going anywhere. Like we need to find the outlets that work. And I think our legal system has its flaws, but there are the right channels for it that we can go through. And petitioning maybe is one way. Maybe there's better ways. I'm not really a lawyer. I'm not sure.
I would like to respond to Sanija. Is that how you say your name?
Sania.
Oh, Sania. My bad.
Yeah. I think that one does not exclude the other. I think that while we are working on, creating the change, especially in this country, I mean, this is not Russia. They've been doing this for a long time there. And even before Anastasia, there were the Dashniks. They were doing this. They've been doing this for generations. This is not how things are done in this country. So it's going to take a while for the mentalities to be prepared to accept that kind of change. And in the meantime, I think it's totally doable to find ways of addressing it that wouldn't be so shocking to people, such as this organization that I'm proposing. And so, and I really don't think that they are exclusionary of each other. I think we can still, do the research and put out the feelers and approach, the government servants, the civil servants, which is what they're supposed to be doing. They are supposed to be serving the people. But in this country, as we all know, that has gotten out of hand, and they have unfortunately forgotten their role. So it will take a while, but in the meantime, I think we can address it in a way that will be better understood by most people, and that is by going through the legal and financial process. So I just wanted to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it's like, I don't know, it's and I think sometimes it's hard to see where we're at, and it's really, you really just want to like throw fireballs back at it, because you're not happy with it at all, and you're kind of like, how can this system be really in place? But it's like persistence wins. Persistence will win. And I think that we're all pioneers just by meeting here. That was a topic on the last call, that something that was really reinforced is we're paving the way here, and we all have spheres of influence, and those spheres of influence also have spheres of influence, and it just really like ripples out. So it's like the communication that we can begin to have, beginning to have these ideas, these radical ideas of like, can we organize? Like, most of the time, regardless of a kin's domain movement, Americans find it difficult to organize unanimously,
Mhm.
So it's like, we're not only talking about just like, it's not just the fact of like, we have to be like united, and that is a collective shift, a global shift, maybe even, and I think there's countries that are on board with that, Russia, obviously, and different ones, but that's going to require some change for sure in all of us.
Yeah.
I think that attention of American people is turned a different way,
Yeah.
right now. And I think they're united. They have that spirit of unison. It's just that their attention is being turned to different and energy, So if we should actually demand more of this, because this is our true freedom. We can take the diapers off of our faces, and we can win the battle of whatever, not having the passports, whatever. But at the end of the day, you're still blue collar or white collar. You're still the collar. Okay, you still pay taxes. You're still in the system, in the matrix, right? So I think we should all actually focus on getting our land back, and that's where the Native Americans had all these years, centuries of time. They have the right. They were right. It's
Right.
all about the land. It's all about the land. It's all about the land. Period. Nothing else. Nothing else matters. We're connected to it. We live off of it. We poison land. We poison ourselves. We destroy land. We destroy ourselves. And period. There's no other. So I think we should support them, stand together with them, and start from there. Honestly, like just waking like to the consciousness of land and focus on getting a free land. I think we should maybe that's what needs to be done. Actually, now when I'm talking, I'm getting this idea that actually should go into the communities and wake people up of having our own land.
Yeah. Well, then the reservations are a great place to start. That's where my mind is going. Like you talked about the native population, and it's so true. Like this is their land. All of this is their land. America wasn't discovered. America was invaded. And
Well,
so,
correct, yeah.
yeah. I mean, I just think that going there, healing that, and setting up land conscious communities within them, or at least inspiring the idea. I mean, I don't know, I don't really know the full extent to our community if we have any natives, Native Americans, that is, that are even, is that a trend? I have no idea to know, couldn't hurt, but, oh God.
Yeah, I think that, if they're part of the ringing Cedars community, is that what your question was, or?
Yeah, I mean, I just mean like, how can we translate this idea then to them? Because once we can get those folks on board, who, in my mind, they are the primordial landowners, or if no,
we don't go to them.
No,
we do not go to them. Yes, we go to them, but we have to go to our same brothers. I don't want to be racist, but I think that all four races we should address, not them, because they're already awakened. They've been always awakened. What's going on with their spirit is that their spirit is being dumped down because of oppression put on them. We all know that. And so their spirit, in their communities, like here where I live, I mean, every time, all the government, I had a meeting today, and I had a webinar yesterday, and it was about something, and it was like through government, okay? And so they always, no matter what kind of meeting it is, they always acknowledge we are on how do you say that, unceded land of Native Americans, or unpreceded land, I think. And they always acknowledge which tribe, which Native American, and which land. You know, so it's not, at least here on the Vancouver Island, and that's, I think, in BC, probably in Vancouver as well, right? And BC itself. I've never heard that in Ontario. I never heard anybody says anything like that in Ontario. But here they acknowledge that. So I think that maybe we should actually start going into the communities and piercing that idea into the communities and make people more aware, because everybody wants to have a piece of land and be able to grow their own food. Maybe not everybody, and that's fine. But a lot of people will be awakened to that idea. You know, they're going to say, if they don't want to own the land, at least they're going to support it in some way, maybe financially. Maybe they're going to say, hey, can you grow a land for me? I'll pay you, you know, or whatever. You know what I mean? But I think that a lot of people would be taking into that idea. And that's where right here on the island, people are extremely aware of environment and nature, and they're very protective of environment and nature. But you see, nobody's stepping into that area about the land, because it's a touchy subject, because everybody knows that they're sitting on unceded land of Native Americans. So they don't want to row the boat. But I think it's important that we as a community actually stand up and ring a bell, you know, shake that boat of the, you know, getting our land back in our hands. And not just for them. We should support them. We should support Native Americans to say, hey, you know what? We acknowledge we took your land. Now it's time to get together, all races together, and get our land back for us, not just for Native Americans, but for all of us. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about them only. It's not about giving that land back to them. That land belongs to all of us. And before Native Americans were like before white people came over here, you know, we don't know who was on this land. They had amazing civilizations here, but it was not one race. It wasn't only them either. So, you know, winners write histories, and I don't want to go into that. But my point is that we should go forth and ask for land for all of us. And I think in the same idea as you know, we were getting into that mindset of buy locally, grow your food, support your local businesses. We should do the same with the land. We should start that consciousness, that idea to pierce into people's consciousness and start thinking of, you know what, maybe we should actually, you know, talk to the government, our governments, and tell them, hey, we want a land.
No, I think that's super powerful, and thank you for sharing all of that. I just know that like in the area that I live at, you know, it is cornfields and soy fields, and a lot of that soy goes into plastic, and a lot of the corn, actually, all of the corn goes to feed animals that are then slaughtered. So I see where that is the movement. That's the goal, that getting people back to that, you know, buy local with your land. That's the goal. That's just a big collective shift. That's a big shift. That's a shift.
It has to happen, and that's the goal of Anastasia. That's what she's actually proposing. I don't know if you're aware, but that's the major goal, where Maigret is actually going into the government, and he's having a political party right now, right? That's what he's asking. He's asking the mission of his party is get the land back into people's hands. That's the main goal.
Sorry, I actually heard that there was that Maigret wasn't supporting actually the Motherland Party. Like, so basically what happened was he opted, and readers over in Russia weren't so happy that he had opted to support a party that was, I am super positive if you guys hear any of that family craziness going on. Anyway, McGree had opted to support a common political leader who was in favor of going in that direction, but who wasn't a part of the Motherland Party. And some of the readers over there were not very happy with that because they felt that that was, not authentic. But I do see McGree's way of thinking about it like, let's support the leaders that are there in the systems that are in place that are moving towards there. And I know recently they just had the Moscow Book Fair, International Book Fair, and there he was actively supporting these new voices that were in the political sphere that were about those land movements. So I don't know, we'll have to, what do we support? New ideas? Do we try to heal these old ones?
There's no healing. Like what to heal? The healing is the new vision. That's the healing. The true healing is not going into the wound and dig into it and put the band-aid on it. The idea is leave the wound to heal itself, and you go with a new idea, and that's how you're going to heal the wound. That's how you're going to heal the spirit and the soul, is by bringing new energy and new idea.
Hi, I'm late to the meeting, but just to bring up my one point, I don't know if you already brought it up, is that there's the Great Reset, which has been an issue for a while now, since the pandemic. So the Great Reset is the part of that plan is that nobody would own any land. So I'm reading the books, and the idea of approaching the government to ask to give land seems very unlikely to happen because they don't want anyone to own even the properties that they own now.
Yes.
So I don't know what we're looking at in the future, but how would we deal with that? And then, like, reading the book series, I realized that I read part of it, the black book, so I have to redo like the last 5 in the green books. But what I understand is that the Vedic people were basically destroyed because their way was they couldn't be controlled. So I don't know how we can go about getting some land where we can just live peaceably and this beautiful way of life. It's already those black series is like the most easily available books, which are not even the whole truth. It's altered. So I mean, I think it's a huge struggle we're facing.
I would like to start being more I would like us to focus on what we want. And I'm going to be plain here. Yeah. I'm going to be plain and say, focus on what we want, and don't bend the knee to the things that we don't want. No, I want what I want.
Agree. We all want to own our own piece of land and to grow and live sustainably and independently. I'm wondering, how do we go about that when we know what the plan is?
I don't care what the plan is. There's always good. There's always angels. There's always good light. There's always love everywhere present. Period. I'm going to focus on that. I'm focusing on that. Yes, there is negative side as well, but that negative side also has to act as a positive too. Okay.
I'm thinking
can I finish, please? If that same government in Russia gave that land to those people, and some people say how evil the Russian government is, look at the goodness. So there is no right and there is no wrong. Only thinking, make it so, right? So
that's what I was. Yeah, I'm in Canada. I'm actually in Montreal.
Where are you in Canada?
Montreal.
Okay.
So that's my question is, like, where is the best place for us to go to have land that can be given or we can buy, that we wouldn't necessarily have as much of a worry about getting taken possibly, or restriction?
Marginal land. That's land that the government views as ill-usable, and that's where I think that you look at common farmland, you look at, this is where we can focus our energy on taking back land that can't be developed, you know, can't be
Yeah.
commoditized.
Okay, right. So like deforested areas.
Yeah, Sasha, you're in Canada. I used to live in Ontario. Okay.
Okay, yeah, me
Northern-
too. I live there. Yeah.
Where were you?
In Ottawa.
Okay.
I have family there still. But
Okay, I was like an hour and a half from Toronto, west from Toronto. So
Okay.
northern Quebec and northern Ontario, they have plenty of cheap land. You can still buy.
I know
cheap land.
I posted on the group page that I'm trying to start a community in Northern Ontario, but it's still Canada. So I guess that's what I'm still planning on doing this. However, that's the thing that I wonder about, if
Yeah.
Canada is one of those countries, like, or should it be, okay, let's go to Russia where, you know,
Okay, I'm gonna
that's
leave my email. Here's my email. Can you, like, whoever wants to get in touch with me, there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, even so anywhere, like I even saw in States, you can buy, Sarah, you were talking about the land and how to get that land. Anywhere in States you can find, I've seen the websites where you can find the land for cheap on auctions. And all you have to do, come as a group of people, it's cheap. And, you know, everybody can get like maybe like $5,000-$10,000 and you can get a huge land.
Right.
You can get a huge piece of land for cheap. It's a matter of organizing. It's a matter of doing things. It's a matter of if you want to live there. But you know what? Have no fear. Have no fear, because as a group together, we can make it.
Yeah.
We can do it. We can make a desert into a paradise.
Yeah.
And we can live, if Anastasia can live in a freaking taiga in Siberia where it's -40 alone, then we can live as a group anywhere. Right?
I love your spirit. I love it. I think that we need more of it. It reminds me of a quote in book 4 where it's like, it's one of the first pages. Man is constantly trying to change his social structure, seeking within it the truth that he has lost, all the while distancing himself further from it. And it's so true. Like, and I'm glad you snapped me out of like, you know, any other, like, we need to, like, you know, let go of the structure and like you said, focus on what we want. I find that very important and very valuable to think about.
Yeah, and we're here for each other. I think we should meet like this more often so we can support each other emotionally. Because in these times, this is tough, right? You know, they bombard us with all kinds of crap. Where our attention goes, everywhere our attention is scattered. So we don't actually achieve anything.
Right, and the feeling of aloneness can do horrible things to the human soul. And that's like what is happening today with this isolation. That's the goal. You know, the goal is to be connected through this, but isolated with this. And it's like horrible, because then we have people that, you know, that you start thinking too much, you know, and like this communicates so much more when you're in person or when you're doing things like this frequently. You're more like, oh yeah, oh that's right, I remember that. Yeah, that's true. I don't need, well, you know, you forget all that nonsense.
Yeah, even this, I mean, it's okay-ish, but I'll tell you, like, nothing can change, nothing can beat the person in person. Like I'll tell you, true. I went to school online, okay? I finished the school online. So it was a full-time school, and we all had meetings like this, live meetings. We could see each other, we could see teachers, she would do presentations and whatnot, we could chat. Nothing until we met. I could see person and I'm like, oh my God, like in person, they look so different, totally different energy, totally different personality. I'm like, holy man, like this is crazy. You know, so yeah, nothing can, until, you know, we are face to face and feel each other, touch each other, you know, nothing can beat that, right? Nothing.
Let's do it. I don't know. I think Gabriel has a plan for 2022. This is a reading gathering. But listen, like I said, I've said it before, I'm in Missouri. I'm willing to meet up whenever. I know there's a community member, Alex. He lives in Arkansas near me. There's a couple of other folks. But yeah, I'm in the Midwest. I'm ready. I'm game to do this whenever. Listen, you guys know, find me on Facebook, or I'll put my email in here too. You know, reach out whenever you guys want. You guys want to have a meeting, let's do it. Because this is the cool thing. So the new community platform that Gabriel is launching very soon is super cool. Like, it's gonna blow your brains. Even if you don't like anything technology, this is it. This is how we, as people with like-minded intentions and goals, can communicate and set up these meetings. So while we're on that topic, there's a group on there I've already created, Permaculture on Kins Domains Designs. We can create any type of group. We can create a petition group, or we can create a movement group, a focus group, anything. All of that can be done. And I think that we need to meet more often. I'm all about it. I'm ready. My heart's here. Like, let's just do it, you know? Oh, this is so cool. We got all these emails in here. Awesome.
Yeah, let me write them down.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I'm gonna take this quick little screenshot. Maybe we can do we'll do like a little follow-up email with all this, because
okay, you know what? How about Wyatt? That's how you pronounce your name, Wyatt?
yeah.
Wyatt, okay. If you can maybe get all of our emails and then just kind of send one big hello.
Yeah, that's
like
what I'm gonna do.
CC.
That's what I'm gonna do right now. I am just I'm gonna do this like this because I can take a picture of it.
So we can all get each other emails in CCs.
Okay, the only person I don't have is I don't know if it's Sasha or Sacha, and if I got Krista's. If Meg Lund is interested as well, Ellen Mary. Oh yeah, there we go. Need to put that one in there. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think this is okay. Cool, guys. Awesome. I think it's important. You know, in this call, like last call, we talked about. Ellen was on the last call, I believe. Yeah, you were, and we were talking about things about gardening for the whole time. The other time we were talking, I mean, that was the first call. So, what I like about this is that, different than the community connection call, is that it's focused. And I want it to be focused. You know, I want us to like, let's talk about a topic, and then practically, like, what are we gonna do? Like, let's do it in the physical. Let's do it, because we are physical. You know, the spirit works through this. Anastasia talks about that like, this is our vehicle. Like, we have to use it. So, okay, bye, Sacha. She had to go. But yeah, I think let's do this. Let's make it real. Whatever we're in to do. Anytime you guys want to Zoom or call, I mean, I'm a phone call person, FaceTime, whatever. You know, set together a common goal, and we're two or more gathered, man. You know, we keep our thought and our dream, you know, and it's, you know, good is there, and the earth needs people that are willing to pledge their life to the goodness. And it's there, it's like ready. It's like, I mean, and there's so many people that have done that. It's like, you know, you look at the sun and you think about, like, this is the reflected goodness, and you don't have to think about it. You start feeling it. You're like, whoa, there's all these people on the earth having like these good thoughts. So I think when we focus those with an intention to act, I mean, we're setting ourselves up for some greatness. So yeah, guys, I don't want to keep anybody. I mean, the call says it goes till 9 p.m. Eastern time. Don't want to keep anybody. I'm free as a bee for a while. So if anybody wants to continue discussing anything, but thank you guys all for joining, for sure. While we have a moment here. You guys are all beautiful spirits and souls, especially Jose, for being brave and not being able to use this mic. That's a killer, man. But thank you for being here. And yeah, we all have like personal lives, and we're not perfect beings yet, you know. And I got mad at my chickens today because they ran over my garden bed for the 5th time, you know. And I don't like to get mad. And it was like, but then you come together and you regroup and you have moments like these, and you know, it inspires you. And that's what I think we have to be there for each other emotionally. You know, I know for me personally, this group is like, not this group specific, but the larger Ringing Cedars community has done so much from myself in my life. But yeah, I'll stop.
Yeah, we have to hang out to each other, right? We have to.
Yeah.
But as you said, get together. Let's see each other in person.
Let's do it. Listen, I've always wanted to go to Canada, but I don't have my passport. So I need to get that. But,
Do you really need a passport to get here?
oh yeah.
You
Oh,
do?
Yeah, Gabriel can't even come back to the US right now because like the border's like closed, I guess, or
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. International travel is a little freaky for me right now, but all you folks in the States, or maybe
All you need is a one-way ticket.
I don't know. My homeland is in the Ozarks though.
Then you gotta stay in your homeland.
I
Where your
know.
heart is.
I know, but I do dream about having a very large reading gathering where everyone's like, okay, we're meeting up here, we're doing it. I'll drive in.
That'll come. We'll visit each other, of course, like in the domains, but you gotta be where your heart is.
Yeah.
If that's your homeland, then it's your homeland.
Oh man. Yeah. It's a good feeling. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice to meet you all. It was great. Thank you, Sarah, for your contribution as well, your idea. It has its place. Like right now, as I said, we were talking about that, and you never know. If you want to do it right now, you can do it right now because you can find people in the States. Honestly, like I've looked at myself. There's so many, but it's what I would look into is to be safe from earthquakes, safe from flooding. Not so much the climate. Climate matters. I'm a Mediterranean girl, and I grew up in a hot, warm, ideal climate. And for me, being in Ontario, it was like, oh my God, But so I moved here. That's why I moved here, because of the climate. But you know what? Like, I'm still open to go into Northern Ontario, where it's like -30, -20, right?
Yeah.
So, but if I'm with a group of people and I'm not by myself, I know that we can, it's warm in your heart. It's warm in your heart and your soul, right? So, and keep in mind, the climate is changing.
It moves up one zone number. Roughly, it'll be like in 2030. I think everyone's zone number will move up one number. I think that's the projected thing. UK is like at, I think 6B or something. They'll be at 7B. Well, whatever. So that's the projected if we go with our current carbon emissions and lack of carbon sequestration. But anyway.
Unless the poles reverse, you just never know.
Yeah.
So please.
We've got this volcano happening.
Yeah, no kidding.
See, I don't watch the news. Wait, there's a volcano happening?
Oh yeah, in La Palma. It's the big deal.
Oh.
People talking about this for decades, that if this particular volcano blows, then it's going to create a tsunami. But that's all thought. Like you were saying, Sania, it's if we focus our thought on what we want, then that's what we create.
Yeah, and pray to the higher power to keep us safe. Pray to higher power, whatever you believe. You believe God, Mother Mary, Jesus, Buddha, whoever, whatever. Angels. Just pray for the safety, to keep us safe and guide us for the right land, and that's it.
And don't succumb to fear, because when you have fear, you perpetuate it. It's a weird thing how we've been taught that it doesn't do that, but it does that. Like the thought itself literally continues that engine. And so those I want to point out too that like in the books they talk about that these volcanoes and hurricanes and earthquakes are the stored up negative energy, so to speak, that we have.
Right.
Yeah, so like just burn bright, just burn, is heart open, burn bright, because that's how we heal that.
Remember, I am the creator being. I made you, I can destroy you. I made you, I can change you. Right?
Yes. Hey, you have to, one more time, how do I correctly pronounce your name? Because I have to lock it into my brain now.
J silent.
The J is silent. So Sania?
Yeah.
Okay. Tokalik?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for being with us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for
Okay.
having me. It's great to be here and chat with the same
Yeah.
people and,
Yeah, it was.
raise each other's energy and cheer up each other for sure.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, no, it's a wonder when you get to talk with people and like share. You really can do a lot for each other's. Sometimes I notice it like even 3 or 4 days afterwards. I'm like, God, I feel so light and connected. I'll like wake up thinking about like all these people that aren't even in my daily life. And I'm like, oh wow, it's so cool, you know? Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like
All right.
Okay, bye.
another thing we can do before we get together in person is to connect with the land wherever we are, or the water.
Yeah.
And it's like there's this network of life force energy that is a frequency that we can refill ourselves with. And it's easy to get lost in the busyness of the mind and getting things done. But there's also like our impersonal instructions that can come online in those quiet moments with nature.
Yes.
And they'll guide us to where the best land is and the right people and how we can support ourselves in the meantime and draw forth the resources we need, just like nature does for all the species within nature. And it's like, because we are nature, it's not like we're working with nature or just connected to, we are nature and nature is us. So it's like a training ground now to embody the wisdom that our innate selves has in like this seed form that's coming, to.
I watched
Thank
there is
you.
a really, yeah, that's very well said. And the difference is that's I'm gonna say what you're saying and support that and just say it in a different way. And there is a one guy that says it's not that,
Who does the firewalks? Yeah.
yeah. So with him, it's like, to motivate you, he says, how do you motivate yourself? Like, he's like, well, when you come to the point that you must do something, right? Then you what do? You say to yourself, I must do it, then you do it. You do it. So he's trying to motivate you in other way. But then there's another guy who actually takes it a step further and he says, I don't have to do it. I choose to do it. And so that's Ellen, very good point. Like if you're doing it from the must, you're doing it from let's say a lower energy vibration. But when you choose to do something, you're doing it from a higher vibration, from love. So
and it's a joy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's also a magnetism, and it attracts, just like, just when you watch bees and you watch, the interactions between flowers and insects, it's a dance, and we're all, being choreographed into our places on the earth right now, the whole different vibrations and frequencies. And I agree with you, Sania, about not getting wrapped up in the politics or the limitations of what's happening, but also to know that there's a lot of seeds that have been planted that we can't see yet, and they're about to burst forth and help us actually manifest these visions that we all hold. And it's coming.
Right,
It's
because
coming.
we have it, it's already there. That's the thing. It's there already. We don't doubt. We just keep going forward with the dream. And you're like, Ellen, I just want to say thank you. Like, that was so beautiful. I was just like, oh God, being washed with all of this. That was so beautiful. Thank you. I mean,
Beautiful. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we need people like you to like speak up. Like, we need people like you to represent groups. Like, leaders need to have heart. Leaders don't need to have like vigor and fear and like leaders need to have that goodness and that love. Like, that's what we're moving into. And that's what, like, yeah, beautiful, guys, beautiful.
Thank you, Wyatt, for hosting this. And I look forward to our gatherings online and in person.
I was saying by like, we all feel it in our soul in different ways too. And that's what's beautiful. Cause like, Sania brings something, Sarah brings something, Jose brings something, Ellen brings something, Krista, Meg, myself, we all bring a unique, yeah.
Be the love.
Be the love, be the light. Beautiful, guys. Beautiful. We all have each other's. Well, I have your email. I'm gonna send an email right after this call with everyone, and we will keep as I'm there if you guys are there. So
Awesome.
we will be
Nice.
here. We will be here next, not next week, but the week after, when Gabriel launches the community connection or the community group. I have a group on there. I have some free permaculture books that you can download and different folders and files that free information if you're interested. And yeah, that's my spiel. That's all I got. Cool, guys.
Awesome.
Well,
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Bye.
everybody. Bye.
Fun.
Bye.
Bye.